3 harsh Stoic rules that will rebuild your mind, body, and soul. Stoic Motivation. Most people think they need a new opportunity. A better job. More money. More motivation. More luck. But what if the real problem isn't outside you? What if the thing holding you back is something you carry with you every single day? Your mind. Your habits. Your unresolved pain. Many people spend years trying to change their lives while refusing to change themselves. They search for shortcuts. They wait for inspiration. They hope circumstances will improve. Meanwhile, their minds remain undisciplined. Their bodies become neglected. Their hearts grow heavier with resentment, regret, and emotional wounds. The Stoics understood something most people never fully grasp. Your life cannot rise higher than the condition of your mind, body, and soul. If your thoughts are weak, your actions become weak. If your body lacks discipline, your energy disappears. If your heart is filled with bitterness, peace becomes impossible. That is why ancient Stoic wisdom remains powerful centuries later. It doesn't promise comfort. It doesn't promise shortcuts. It demands transformation. Today, we will explore 3 harsh Stoic rules that can rebuild your life from the inside out. These lessons are inspired by timeless Stoic principles taught by Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. And if you enjoy powerful lessons on discipline, self-mastery, focus, and mental toughness, subscribe to Focus and Conquer for more videos designed to help you become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Now let's begin with the first rule. Rule 1: Fix the mind. Before you can rebuild your life, you must rebuild the place where every decision begins. Your mind. Most people have no idea how much damage they do to themselves daily. Not physically. Mentally. They feed their minds garbage. Hours of mindless scrolling. Endless comparisons. Constant negativity. Fear-driven news. Pointless arguments. Then they wonder why they feel anxious, distracted, and exhausted. Imagine owning a beautiful garden. Every day, instead of planting flowers, you throw weeds into the soil. Then one morning you wake up and wonder why nothing beautiful grows there. That is exactly what happens to many minds. The mind grows whatever it is fed. A young man once approached an elderly teacher seeking advice. "Why do I feel stuck?" he asked. "I work hard, but I never seem to move forward." The teacher handed him a glass of muddy water. "What do you see?" "Mud." The teacher placed the glass on a table. An hour later he returned. "What do you see now?" The water had become clear. "The mud settled," said the young man. The teacher smiled. So does the mind. Many people never allow their minds to settle. They are constantly stimulated. Constantly distracted. Constantly consuming. Silence feels uncomfortable. Reflection feels difficult. Yet wisdom grows in stillness. The Stoics practiced daily reflection because they understood that an unexamined mind eventually becomes a prison. Think about how many thoughts pass through your head each day. "I'll never succeed. I'm not talented enough. I'm too old. I'm too late. They're better than me." Most people don't even question these thoughts. They simply believe them. And over time those thoughts become identity. That is dangerous. Because your mind believes what you repeatedly tell it. A prisoner once spent years believing he was powerless. Then one day he realized something. The prison walls controlled his body. But they did not control his thinking. That realization changed everything. His circumstances remained difficult. But his mindset became free. And freedom always begins internally. The first harsh Stoic lesson is this. You cannot create a powerful life with a weak mind. That means protecting your mental environment. Imagine starting every morning differently. Instead of grabbing your phone immediately, you spend 30 minutes strengthening your mind. Reading wisdom. Reflecting deeply. Learning intentionally. At first it feels small. But over weeks and months something remarkable happens. Your thinking improves. Your reactions become calmer. Your focus sharpens. Your confidence grows. Because disciplined thinking produces disciplined living. Stop chasing outcomes. Most people focus on outcomes. They obsess over results. The promotion, the business, the money, the recognition. And when those things don't arrive quickly, frustration takes over. The Stoics approached life differently. They focused on becoming the type of person capable of success. A farmer cannot force crops to grow. He can only prepare the soil, plant the seeds, and care for the field. The harvest arrives later. Life works the same way. Focus less on what you want. Focus more on who you are becoming. A struggling athlete once became obsessed with winning. Every loss devastated him. Every setback destroyed his confidence. Then a mentor gave him simple advice. Stop focusing on victory. Focus on becoming the person capable of victory. Everything changed. He trained differently, thought differently, lived differently, and eventually success followed. Not because he chased results, because he chased growth. The Stoics knew something profound. When you focus on character, results often take care of themselves. Break the invisible prison. There is a prison more powerful than steel bars. It exists inside the mind. And millions of people live there without realizing it. The walls are made from limiting beliefs. I can't. I'm not enough. I always fail. This is just who I am. These beliefs quietly shape lives. A man once spent years believing he was bad at public speaking. Every opportunity terrified him. Every presentation filled him with fear. One day someone asked him a question. Who told you that you were bad at speaking? He thought carefully. And realized something shocking. Nobody had. He had repeated the belief so often that it became truth in his mind. That realization changed his life. He began practicing, improving, learning. Years later he became a confident speaker. Nothing changed externally first. The change began internally. Many people are trapped not by reality, but by stories they tell themselves. The Stoics constantly challenged their own assumptions. They questioned fears. They examined beliefs. They refused to accept limitations without evidence. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, what belief is holding you back right now? What story have you repeated so often that it feels true? And what would happen if you stopped believing it? Because transformation begins the moment you stop identifying with your limitations. The mind is the foundation. If the foundation is weak, everything built on top becomes unstable. That is why Stoicism begins here. Train the mind. Protect the mind. Discipline the mind. Because every great life begins with a great mind. And before we can rebuild the soul, we must strengthen the vessel that carries it. Which brings us to the second harsh Stoic rule. Fix the body. Rule 2. Fix the body. Most people understand that the mind matters. Few people understand how deeply the body influences the mind. They treat the body like a machine that should keep working no matter how poorly it is maintained. They ignore sleep, neglect movement, consume whatever feels good in the moment, and then wonder why they constantly feel tired, unmotivated, anxious, and unfocused. The Stoics saw things differently. They understood that while the mind leads, the body carries. And when the body becomes weak, even a strong mind must work harder. Think about your own life. How often have you felt mentally exhausted after several nights of poor sleep? How often has stress felt heavier when your energy was low? How often has a simple problem felt overwhelming because your body was already drained? Many people believe they have a motivation problem. Often, they have an energy problem. And energy begins with how you treat your body. The harsh truth is this. You cannot consistently think like a warrior while living like a prisoner of comfort. The body and mind are connected. When one weakens, the other suffers. When one strengthens, the other rises. A young man once visited a wise teacher seeking confidence. I want to become mentally strong, he said. The teacher studied him quietly. The young man slept poorly, rarely exercised, ate carelessly, spent most of his time sitting indoors. The teacher smiled gently. You are trying to build a castle on a crumbling foundation. The young man was confused. "I asked about confidence." "And I answered," said the teacher. "Because confidence is not only a mental state. Confidence grows when you consistently keep promises to yourself. And many of those promises begin with how you care for your body. Food is more than comfort. Modern society has changed the way people think about food. Many people no longer see food as fuel. They see it as escape. Stress arrives. They eat. Sadness arrives. They eat. Boredom arrives. They eat. The body becomes a storage place for emotional discomfort. But Stoicism teaches discipline. Not punishment. Discipline. A Roman soldier could not afford to eat based entirely on cravings. His survival depended on maintaining strength. His food served a purpose. Today, many people spend years feeding temporary desires while starving long-term potential. A man once worked in a demanding profession. Every evening he rewarded himself with unhealthy habits. He told himself he deserved it. Years passed. His energy declined. His confidence declined. His health declined. Eventually, he looked in the mirror and barely recognized himself. The problem wasn't one bad meal. It was thousands of small decisions accumulated over time. That is how life changes. Not through dramatic moments. Through repeated actions. The Stoics constantly reminded themselves that self-control matters in every area of life, including food. Ask yourself honestly, are you feeding your future or feeding your impulses? Because every meal is either building strength or weakening it. And strength is rarely created by accident. The hidden wisdom of sleep. Many people treat sleep as optional. They sacrifice rest for entertainment, for scrolling, for distractions. Then they wake up exhausted and attempt to fight life with half their strength. Imagine a warrior entering battle after being awake for 2 days. Nobody would expect peak performance. Yet many people do exactly that mentally every week. They expect clarity while exhausted, focus while depleted, discipline while drained. The Stoics value preparation. And sleep is preparation. A business owner once struggled with constant stress and poor decision-making. He believed he needed more productivity systems, more motivation, more strategies. Instead, his mentor challenged him to improve only one thing: sleep. Nothing else. For 30 days, he committed to consistent rest. The results shocked him. His thinking improved. His patience improved. His mood stabilized. His focus sharpened. Problems that once felt overwhelming suddenly became manageable. The obstacles hadn't changed. His capacity had. This is important. Many people are not overwhelmed because life is impossible. They are overwhelmed because they are operating at half their potential. The Stoics understood that wisdom includes respecting limits. The body requires recovery. Ignoring that truth eventually creates consequences. Sleep is not laziness. It is preparation for excellence. It is self-respect in action. And one of the most disciplined things you can do is rest properly so that you can show up fully tomorrow. Movement changes more than the body. Many people think exercise is only about appearance. Stoicism teaches something deeper. Movement transforms the mind. A young woman struggled with anxiety for years. Her thoughts raced constantly. She felt trapped inside her own mind. One day she began walking every morning. Nothing extreme. Just a simple daily walk. At first, it seemed insignificant. But over time she noticed something. Her thoughts became clearer. Her stress became manageable. Her confidence increased. The movement was not just changing her body. It was changing her emotional state. This is something many people overlook. Emotions are not only mental experiences. They are physical experiences too. Stress lives in the body. Tension lives in the body. Anger lives in the body. Movement helps release what stagnation traps. Even the strongest Stoic thinkers understood the value of physical training. Not because they worshipped appearance. Because they respected capability. A capable body supports a capable mind. Think about how different you feel after movement. The mind becomes sharper. The mood improves. Energy increases. Perspective changes. And often, the solution to a problem appears after movement rather than during endless overthinking. Modern life encourages stillness. Hours sitting. Hours scrolling. Hours consuming. Meanwhile, the body quietly weakens. And a weakened body often creates a weakened spirit. Ask yourself, when was the last time you challenged yourself physically? When was the last time your body reminded you how capable it truly is? Because movement is not merely exercise. It is a declaration. A declaration that you refuse to become weak through neglect. Voluntary discomfort creates unshakable strength. This may be the harshest Stoic lesson of all. Most people spend their lives avoiding discomfort. The Stoics deliberately practiced it. Not because they enjoyed suffering. Because they understood reality. Life contains hardship whether you prepare for it or not. A person who never experiences difficulty voluntarily becomes fragile. A person who occasionally embraces difficulty becomes resilient. Imagine two trees. One grows in perfect conditions. No wind. No storms. No resistance. The other grows where powerful winds challenge it constantly. Which tree develops stronger roots? The answer is obvious. Human beings are similar. Strength grows through resistance. A young man once asked a mentor how to become mentally tougher. The mentor gave him unusual advice. Take cold showers. Walk when driving would be easier. Wake up earlier than necessary. Do difficult things on purpose. The young man laughed. What does that have to do with mental strength? The mentor answered. Every time you choose discomfort voluntarily, you remind yourself that comfort does not control you. That lesson changed his life. Because most people obey comfort without realizing it. Comfort says, stay in bed. Avoid the challenge. Take the easy route. Delay the work. And day after day, comfort slowly weakens ambition. The Stoics understood that small acts of voluntary discomfort strengthen discipline. A cold shower may seem insignificant. Waking early may seem insignificant. Choosing the stairs may seem insignificant. But these actions build something powerful. Self-command. The knowledge that you control your choices rather than your impulses controlling you. And that confidence spills into every area of life. A person who can willingly endure small discomforts becomes far more prepared for unavoidable hardships. Because hardship no longer feels unfamiliar. It feels manageable. Your body is listening to everything you do. Whether you realize it or not, your body is constantly adapting. Every choice sends a message. Every habit sends a signal. Every action becomes a vote for the person you are becoming. A man once visited a sculptor and watched him transform a block of stone into a masterpiece. How do you create something so beautiful? He asked. The sculptor replied. I simply remove what doesn't belong. That answer contains a powerful lesson. Transformation is often subtraction. Removing destructive habits. Removing excuses. Removing neglect. Many people focus entirely on what they need to add. More motivation. More confidence. More success. Sometimes the answer is simpler. Remove what weakens you. Remove what drains your energy. Remove what destroys your discipline. Because the strongest version of yourself may already exist beneath the habits holding you back. The body reflects the standards you accept. Look carefully at any area of life. Results often reflect standards. Not wishes. Not intentions. Standards. A person who values health behaves differently than someone who merely talks about it. A person who values discipline behaves differently than someone who admires it from a distance. The Stoics understood that values must become actions. Otherwise, they are merely ideas. Ask yourself honestly, what standards are guiding your life right now? Do your habits reflect your goals? Do your actions support your future? Or are you hoping for outcomes your behaviors do not support? These questions matter because the body tells the truth. You can fool other people. You can create appearances. You can make promises. But your habits reveal reality. And reality eventually collects payment for every choice. Rebuilding the body rebuilds confidence. Many people chase confidence directly. The Stoics understood a better path. Earn confidence. Confidence is not something you think your way into. It is something you build. Every workout completed. Every healthy choice made. Every difficult action embraced. These become evidence. Evidence that you can trust yourself. Evidence that you can follow through. Evidence that you are becoming stronger. And self-trust is the foundation of confidence. A person who consistently keeps promises to themselves walks differently, speaks differently, thinks differently, because they know something others do not. They know they can depend on themselves. That is powerful. And that power cannot be purchased. It must be earned. The Stoics believe that a disciplined body strengthens a disciplined mind. And when mind and body begin working together, transformation accelerates. But there is still one part missing. One part many people neglect entirely. The heart. Because you can have a disciplined mind. You can have a strong body. And still feel empty inside. That is why the third and final Stoic rule may be the most important of all. Fix the heart. Rule 3. Fix the heart. Many people spend years strengthening their minds. They learn. They study. They become disciplined. Others spend years strengthening their bodies. They exercise. They improve their health. They develop endurance. Yet despite all of this, something still feels missing. The mind becomes stronger. The body becomes stronger. But the heart remains wounded. And no amount of success can fully heal a heart that carries unresolved pain. This is where many people become stuck. They work harder. They achieve more. They accumulate accomplishments. Yet peace continues to feel distant. The Stoics understood something profound. A person can win battles in the world while losing the battle within. That is why rebuilding the heart is essential. Not the physical heart. The emotional center of your life. Your values. Your relationships. Your purpose. Your ability to love, forgive, and find meaning. Because strength without purpose eventually becomes emptiness. And discipline without meaning eventually becomes exhaustion. Find your true self in silence. Modern life is loud. There is always something demanding attention. Notifications. News. Entertainment. Opinions. Distractions. Many people are surrounded by noise every waking hour. And because of that, they lose contact with themselves. A young man spent years chasing success. He worked constantly. Stayed busy constantly. Kept moving constantly. One day he finally achieved a goal he had pursued for years. He expected happiness. Instead, he felt strangely empty. He had spent so much time chasing external achievement that he had forgotten to ask an important question. Who am I becoming? That question changed everything. For the first time in years, he sat quietly with his thoughts. No phone. No music. No distractions. Just silence. At first it felt uncomfortable. Then something remarkable happened. He began hearing his own thoughts clearly. Not society's expectations. Not other people's opinions. His own. The Stoics valued solitude because they understood that wisdom grows in reflection. Many people fear silence because silence forces honesty. It reveals fears, regrets, unanswered questions. But it also reveals purpose. You cannot hear your deepest values while constantly distracted. You cannot discover your direction while endlessly consuming noise. A few moments of reflection every day can change a life. Ask yourself, what do I truly value? What kind of person do I want to become? What matters most when all distractions disappear? These questions have guided great thinkers for centuries. And they remain powerful today. Because purpose begins with self-awareness. Let go of the weight you carry. Many people are exhausted by burdens they cannot see. Old resentment. Past mistakes. Regret. Bitterness. Unforgiveness. The tragedy is that these burdens often remain long after the original event has passed. A man once carried deep anger towards someone who had wronged him years earlier. He replayed the event constantly. Every memory reignited frustration. Every thought reopened the wound. Eventually, an older friend asked him a simple question. Who suffers every time you relive it? The answer was obvious. He did. The person who hurt him had moved on. Yet he remained trapped. The Stoics understood that resentment often punishes the person carrying it more than the person who caused it. This does not mean pretending wrongdoing never happened. It means refusing to let it control your future. Forgiveness is often misunderstood. Many people think forgiveness excuses bad behavior. It doesn't. Forgiveness releases your emotional attachment to the pain. It frees you. A prisoner cannot move forward while dragging chains behind them. And many people carry emotional chains for years. Some carry anger toward others. Some carry anger toward themselves. This is equally destructive. A woman once spent years regretting a mistake she made in her youth. She replayed it endlessly. Judged herself constantly. Punished herself repeatedly. One day she realized something. The person she had been years ago no longer existed. She had grown. Learned. Changed. Yet she continued treating herself as if growth had never happened. That realization allowed her to finally let go. The Stoics believed mistakes should become lessons, not life sentences. You are allowed to learn. You are allowed to improve. You are allowed to move forward. Ask yourself honestly, what are you still carrying? Who do you need to forgive? What would your life feel like if you finally released that burden? Because peace often arrives not when we gain something new, but when we release what no longer serves us. Purpose is not found, it is created. Many people spend years searching for purpose. They imagine purpose as a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. The Stoics saw things differently. Purpose is often built through action. A young teacher once believed his life lacked significance. He compared himself to famous people, successful entrepreneurs, celebrities, leaders. He felt ordinary. Then one day a former student returned to thank him. The student explained that a simple conversation years earlier had changed the direction of his life. The teacher was stunned. He had no idea the moment had mattered so much. That day he realized something important. Purpose is not always dramatic. Sometimes purpose appears in ordinary acts performed consistently. Helping someone. Teaching someone. Supporting someone. Encouraging someone. Being present for someone. Modern culture often defines success through visibility, fame, recognition, status. But the Stoics measured success differently. They asked, did you live according to your values? Did you contribute something meaningful? Did you fulfill your responsibilities with integrity? Those questions matter far more than public applause. Because applause fades. Character remains. Purpose grows when your life becomes larger than your own comfort. A person focused only on themselves eventually feels empty. A person focused on contribution discovers meaning. That is why service is so powerful. It connects individual growth to something greater. And meaning often emerges when you stop asking what life can give you and start asking what you can give life. Build relationships worth having. The quality of your life is heavily influenced by the quality of your relationships. Yet many people invest more time in screens than in human connection. The Stoics understood that while independence matters, meaningful relationships matter too. A traveler once asked an old philosopher what was most important in life. The philosopher replied, "Choose your companions wisely." The traveler expected a more complicated answer. The philosopher continued, "Because eventually you become like the people around you." That lesson remains true today. Spend enough time around negativity, and it influences you. Spend enough time around ambition, and it influences you. Spend enough time around integrity, and it influences you. Relationships shape character. Ask yourself, who encourages growth in your life? Who constantly drains your energy? Who inspires you to become better? The Stoics encourage surrounding yourself with people who challenge you to improve. Not people who encourage weakness. Not people who celebrate mediocrity. People who elevate your standards. Because growth becomes easier when your environment supports it. The circle of rebirth. Now step back and look at the complete picture. The mind. The body. The heart. These are not separate systems. They influence one another constantly. A disciplined mind strengthens discipline in the body. A healthy body supports clarity of mind. A peaceful heart strengthens both. When one area improves, the others often improve as well. This is why transformation is never just physical. Never just mental. Never just emotional. Real transformation is holistic. A man once attempted to rebuild his life after years of struggle. At first he focused only on making more money. Nothing changed internally. Then he focused only on fitness. He became stronger physically but still felt lost. Eventually he realized the truth. His entire life needed alignment. His thinking. His habits. His relationships. His purpose. Once those pieces began working together, everything changed. Not overnight. Not dramatically. But steadily. And steady change often lasts longer than dramatic change. The Stoics never promised instant transformation. They promised something better. A path. A process. A way of living that gradually strengthens every part of who you are. Final message. This topic was inspired by reflections shared by Marcus Taglog, combined with Stoic teachings from Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. Most people spend their lives waiting. Waiting for motivation. Waiting for confidence. Waiting for the perfect opportunity. Waiting for life to change. The Stoics would ask a simple question. Why wait? The person you want to become is built through today's choices. Not tomorrow's. Not next year's. Today's. Every disciplined thought strengthens the mind. Every healthy action strengthens the body. Every act of forgiveness and purpose strengthens the heart. And over time, those small actions become a new identity. You do not need perfection. You need consistency. You do not need extraordinary talent. You need commitment. You do not need to change everything today. You simply need to take the next step. Remember the 3 harsh Stoic rules. Fix the mind. Guard what enters your thoughts. Challenge limiting beliefs. Focus on becoming rather than merely achieving. Fix the body. Treat your body as an ally. Embrace discipline. Choose strength over comfort. Fix the heart. Release resentment. Reconnect with purpose. Build meaningful relationships. Live according to your values. When these 3 areas align, something remarkable happens. You stop merely existing. You begin living intentionally. You become calmer under pressure. Stronger during adversity. More focused during uncertainty. More resilient when life becomes difficult. And slowly you become the kind of person who cannot be easily shaken by circumstances. Not because life becomes easier. Because you become stronger. The Stoics understood this truth centuries ago. External events will always be uncertain. But your character can become unshakable. If this message resonated with you, subscribe to Focus and Conquer for more powerful Stoic wisdom, mental toughness lessons, and practical strategies for building a stronger mind, body, and soul. And remember this. You are not rebuilding your life in a single day. You are rebuilding it one disciplined decision at a time. And those decisions, repeated consistently, can transform everything.